Hey there, everybody. So last week I promised you guys I'd be making a video this week kind of explaining where I've been for all this time, and look at that. Promises made, promises kept. Here I am, and let's talk about it. All right, so obviously I've been gone for a while, so there's been a lot of reasons as to why I was gone for so long, and they're all kind of intertwining with each other, but we'll start with the basic ones, which are the ones that I usually face, and that is time, job stuff, and technical problems. So as I've talked about a number of times on this channel, my job requires me to be doing video editing and working with video and things like that. And sometimes when you are professionally doing something, you just don't want to do that in your personal time when you go home. And especially my job started to get kind of more complicated, more complex things going on. And just, between the amount of time that I was kind of like required being at work and long hours and things like that, and just the kind of mental strain of doing video stuff all day and then coming home and wanting to do more video stuff. Sometimes they're just not flowing together, and that was definitely led to a lot of the kind of early stoppage as to why I wasn't making videos. It was just like, I don't know, I wasn't feeling the drive to do it as much, just on a technical level. And speaking of technical levels, also had some tech issues that really kind of derailed both the channel and myself. Without getting too much into the jargon of things, I actually had shot a video and was in the midst of editing it when I had not one, but two thumb drives with kind of all my stuff on them break on me. So which meant that the entire video that I was working on was gone. If you work in a creative space like I do, then you will know the pain of losing a project midstream, especially one that you've been working on that's taking a lot of your time. And yeah, the mental challenge to start all over again with everything else going on was just too great for a little while. So it very much became maybe this is the sign. I'll just kind of put this away for a few weeks and I'll get back to it. And then a few weeks became a few months, and so on and so forth. In addition to the thumb drive problem that I ran into, I also had my laptop break not that long ago. I actually was starting to kind of get the itch to make videos again back in December and January, and that happened to coincide right when my hard drive, for lack of a better term, on my laptop broke. I came up with this kind of janky but functioning way to make the laptop work. I just didn't have a lot of space on it, nor did I have any of my editing stuff on it anymore. And I kind of rolled with that for 6 months until I got annoyed and finally did the correct fix and kind of put everything back together, which is why I'm able to start doing videos now, because I actually have my computer back and my editing software and all the fun stuff that you need to make a YouTube channel. There also was a positive reason why I've been so busy and why I was away for a bit. Some of you may have noticed in last week's video, but hey, I got married. And while marriage is great and wonderful and I'm very happy, marriage also means that you have to plan a wedding. So a year and a half was spent doing that. And for those of you who haven't planned a wedding, there's a lot that goes into it. It can be very stressful at times. And it was just kind of another factor of things where it's oh, I just don't have the mental capacity to sit in front of a camera and talk about Disney stuff today. And it just kind of moved the YouTube stuff further down on the totem pole of importance. So while a great thing, and I'm very happy, also kind of led to the channel being put on ice for a little bit. And the last reason, and really I would argue probably the biggest reason as to why there was such a prolonged break, just came down to me, really. So I was struggling for a little while as I was making videos, and you guys know they were coming out infrequently, and some of this is chicken and egg stuff So I was struggling to kind of justify the amount of work that I was putting into these videos versus the return. I'd been feeling that way for a while, where I wasn't seeing the channel growth or really the viewership numbers on these videos that I was putting so much work into. And again, full disclosure, a lot of that is my own fault because of the infrequent posting schedule, and people didn't necessarily know when things were coming up, and there were these long kind of gaps between things. So again, a lot of that is on me. Believe me, I've come to terms with all of that. But at the time, especially the Beauty and the Beast video, I put so much effort and work into that. There was the song, and these videos in general take usually, a few weeks to a month of researching, writing, filming, editing, kind of all the things that go into it. And I remember putting that video out and being, really excited. This is one of the biggest Disney movies of all time. It's been a video that people were asking for. And yeah, the numbers were okay. I remember being a little underwhelmed at the time by them and just kind of being a little bummed out where it's like, man, I put so much work into something and, in your brain, you're like, it's going to do gangbusters. This will be tens of thousands of views. And, it wasn't. And again, that has nothing to do with, with you guys or even with the quality of the video. I don't think it had to do almost exclusively with myself and just kind of how infrequently I was posting. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like a fool. I understand that at best I'm like a low-level YouTuber. So like I'm never going to be getting these like huge, tremendous numbers. And again, I think over the last kind of year or so, I really have come to terms with that and I'm fine with it. But I just think that like on a subconscious level, I think I was just a little more burned out than I was willing to admit, just between kind of like work stuff and YouTube stuff and, the frustrations I was having with the channel for a while, but just I don't know. I think all of it led to this, this burnout, really, this kind of general malaise towards the channel where it's like, if I don't put out videos, who's really going to miss them that much? Do I really want to spend the time making videos? I only have so much free time, that kind of stuff. And, when you're in a headspace like that, one, you're just not going to be making good content, so it just kind of snowballs on itself. If you're disappointed to begin with and you're making videos with this disappointment in mind, you're just going to get more disappointed as time goes on. And the other part of it was just, I needed a break, I think. I'm not sure that I was consciously aware that I needed a break, but I needed a break. Which of course leads to the question, well, why now? Why am I back all of a sudden? Well, like I was saying before, I did really kind of start to get that itch again around like January, where, the wedding had happened, everything, all the craziness kind of surrounding that had already taken place and it settled down. Work, I was starting to get, a better handle on. Some things were starting to go a little bit better. And just in general, like, it's funny because I was just talking about how, like, there was frustration with the channel, but I guess sometimes you don't realize or appreciate what you have until it's gone. And I missed making videos. I missed talking to you guys and this kind of community that we've created, talking about Disney movies and interacting with you guys in the comments and just having a platform really to kind of share my thoughts and to share my opinions on Disney and movies in general. A big reason why I created this channel in the first place was I needed a creative outlet. I needed to make something. I was fresh out of college. I was kind of in between stuff. I didn't really have a career yet. I needed to make something. And that's really where this channel came from. And again, like I was saying, over the years, some of that got a little bit lost, but that drive to make stuff and to talk about film and talk about Disney, it's still there and never really left. And I think that being away from it for as long as I was, I was starting to crave that again, with the added bonus of missing you guys as well. Again, when I first created this, I didn't have anyone who, was a subscriber or watched the channel, but now I did. And, I was getting, some emails from you guys asking, hey, what's going on? Oh God, hundreds of comments asking when the next Disney Guy review was coming out or where I've gone and what was going on. And, should I reply to some of those? Yeah, probably, where I would see them. But, it makes you feel good, I guess, when it's like, yeah, people actually did kind of care about what I was doing and missed the content. So yeah, I think all of that was really kind of mixing into this, this desire to start up the channel again. And then once I kind of fixed all my tech problems and I'm getting better about a schedule and things like that and trying to like carve out consistent time to do stuff, just seemed like, now's the time, if I was never going to do it, to really get back into it. The other part of it was really just kind of unfinished business, right? So again, I started this channel back in 2013, which is wild, right? Almost a decade ago. And it's funny, I had this piece of paper back then when I was just first forming the idea of this channel. And I had all these ideas written down, all the directions I wanted the channel to go, all these different video ideas and concepts and stuff like that. But the main idea, the main crux of the channel, at least in the early days, was going to be I wanted to do a review for every single Disney animated classic. And I haven't done that yet. So, obviously the channel has gone various directions. Things have changed over the years, but, the original thesis statement of this channel hasn't been fulfilled. I got to the Renaissance and I haven't finished it. So, it does feel like, at least on some level, there's unfinished business here that I wouldn't feel right not doing. And granted, there's been a few more Disney films that have been added since 2013 to my list, but yeah, just I feel like if nothing else, I need to at least finish that project. And that kind of takes me into really like the future of this channel. So, the plan going forward is I'm going to kind of continue doing what I had been doing, where the general plan will be 2 videos per month. We're going to have, what I call the in-between videos, which are not going away, and the Disney Guy reviews, which will still kind of go in order. Obviously, the next one would be Aladdin, as we wrapped up with Beauty and the Beast last time. And yeah, those in-between videos, they're not going anywhere because a lot of times they're there kind of for my sanity, just so I don't feel like I'm doing the same video over and over again, and to kind of give me more topics to talk about and more things to talk about. Even that concept has kind of changed over the years, and maybe I'll talk about that one of these days. But yeah, that's the basic concept for the channel going forward, is to have 2 videos a month at least, where they have Disney Guy review, in-betweener video, alternating back and forth with some Disney news videos like this thrown in. And the idea is going to be that we're going to do this until I get to the end of the Disney Animated Classics. And once we get to the end of the Disney Animated Classics, once the initial mission is finally accomplished, then we'll take another good look at the channel, see how things have been going over the last probably year and a half, and just sort of assess, like, okay, now what? Like, is this something that has been growing and I'm still having fun with, I want to continue into more stuff? Or is that the end? At least I'd feel better knowing that we got through all the animated classics first. Again, I'm very hopeful that we'll get to that point and things are going great and I'm still having a great time and we keep rolling on into Pixar and all sort of other ideas that I have. Again, I had years of ideas and kind of directions for the channel back on that original piece of paper. But yeah, I think that's kind of where my immediate goal is just kind of restart the channel, get things going as they were, try to spread it as much as I can, try to build it as much as I can, so that when we get to the end of the Disney Animated Classics, I feel like this is a strong, healthy channel. And obviously, some things that we're trying to grow that I would consider, kind of healthy channel is, subscriber count, view count, things like that. Also, really trying to grow the Patreon side of things. As you guys know, I do all of this by myself. I've been trying to grow the Patreon a bit over the years, and it's kind of run hot and cold, but that's partially why I wanted to talk a little bit with you guys about it. Was, I want to know what are some things that you guys would want to see from the Patreon side of stuff that would make you want to be able to support the channel other than just consistently posting videos. Because there are a few things that, like, I'm going to keep doing going forward. Like, all my patrons rather, get the edited videos, so the Disney Guy reviews and the in-between videos, 24 hours in advance. I post it there before I post it anywhere, so anyone else can see it, so you guys get first dibs on that. I think that's a perk that is never really going to go anywhere. But what are some other ones that you guys want to see that would, like, interest you, in Patreon? I've done some kind of like side videos in the past. I've done like commentaries on old videos. Like today, for example, I just saw Barbie, and I would do videos like this, like what I did for Elementals last week, about non-Disney movies, and those would be exclusive to Patreon. And those videos didn't do the best. Obviously, I don't have the biggest Patreon in the world, but like, really no one was watching those aside from me. So again, if that's something you guys want, then great. If it's not, then something else. Yeah, but like, I just want to hear kind of your ideas, your thoughts about, what you think could work for that. In general, with the Patreon, I don't charge monthly. I charge by project that gets released. So by edited videos. So things like this, I don't charge. But things like the Disney Guy reviews and the in-between videos, those are the only times that you would actually pay for Patreon. And the reason why I do that is because, again, in the past, my upload schedule has been mildly infrequent, to say the least. So it's a way to not feel like you guys are paying for nothing, effectively. Like, it ensures that the only time you're actually contributing to the channel is when the channel is contributing to you, if that makes sense. And the other thing I was kicking around, not that there's anything like this in the works currently, but if the channel started to grow a little bit more again, if there was a sponsorship opportunity or something like that, how opposed would you guys be to, me putting like, a 30-second ad or something like that of me, advertising something within those edited videos? If it's something you guys are totally against, then we'll just kind of wipe from the earth. If it's not, then it's something that eventually one day maybe we'll consider. I don't really want to do like sponsored content or like have someone, a company to kind of dictate what my video is and things like that. This would be more just like right off the bat, this video is brought to you by yada yada yada, on with the show kind of deal. At least that's how I kind of pictured it in my head. And again, I just kind of want to get, opinions and things like that. And just in general, just your thoughts on things you want to see on the channel, things that would interest you and things that you think will help the channel. I'm always, excited to hear from you guys about, how to build this channel even more, because ultimately it only kind of works if you guys are watching it. But yeah, in the immediate future, I just finished filming my next edited video. The plan for that is to come out on Friday. Full disclosure, it is not the Disney Guy review for Aladdin. That'll be the following edited video. I'm kind of trying to get a little bit of a run up to that one, kind of give time for people to start to realize that I'm back and I'm doing content again. That way, when the Disney Guy review comes out, it can get kind of the biggest audience possible. And I'm, do my best to try to share it as much as I can, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that it's a great review for you guys. But yeah, the next edited video, the plan is for that to come out on Friday, followed by work on Aladdin beginning. But yeah, that's kind of everything, honestly. I mean, it's not as exciting of a video or of an explanation as to where things were, but it's the truth. It's what's kind of been going on in my head. But I am excited for the future. I'm excited for kind of what this channel can become now that I'm trying to get better about carving out kind of consistent time to do stuff. Hopefully we can kind of upload more consistently, and you guys will ultimately get a better me and a better channel out of it. But yeah, that's kind of everything. I kind of want to keep this video focused, more about like my hiatus and sort of where things are going, because boy, there are a lot going on like in the Disney news space right now between movies that are out. We talked a little bit about that last week with Elemental and how it's still going, the SAG-AFTRA strike and the writer strike and all the craziness that's going on with that, the rumors about parts of Disney being sold off. It's a lot going on. Maybe next week sometime we can talk about all that kind of stuff in the Disney news. But for now, I think I'm going to take my leave again after just recording a video, and now this. My throat is very dry. I keep forgetting I have to bring water in for these things. Again, it's like a new channel. I'm remembering all my old tricks that I used to do to kind of make my videos. But thank you guys so much for kind of listening to my rambles, and thanks so much for just sticking with me through all this. Really, the only reason why I'm coming back and doing all this is because of you guys, and because of all those people who reached out to me and were concerned about my well-being when I went kind of radio silent for as long as I did. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you guys for everything that's going to come. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are looking forward to it too. So with all that being said, can't wait to see you guys. The new video next week for the first time in so long, a new edited video. I'm really excited for it. Hopefully you guys are too. And I'll see you real soon.